guys, what's up? Tori here. So I am here to do a baby update for you guys. I'm actually just gonna call this basically like 36/37 weeks pregnant update video, because I'm actually 36 weeks and 5 days today. I'll be 37 weeks on Tuesday. So I'm just gonna go ahead and update you guys. I know my updates have been more spread apart lately. I'm just gonna go ahead and update you on everything. So in my last video, I had mentioned that I had an ultrasound, and at that ultrasound, baby boy was breech. But I am happy to say he has flipped. I had an appointment last week, Wednesday, and my doctor, I had to have the little group B swab test, and while he was at it, he checked my cervix to see how things were, and he, felt to see what baby's position was in, and he could feel baby's head down there when he checked me. I was also already dilated to 1 centimeter, and I was 60% effaced even, so he was like, your cervix is looking really good and really like ready for whenever baby is. And so we also discussed my induction as well, because of the fact that I am on blood thinners. It would be ideal for me to be able to stop the blood thinners ahead of time before delivery, because of, we want to reduce my bleeding risk. So at this point, unless baby boy decides to try to come on his own and puts me into labor on his own, I am scheduled to be induced on Wednesday, February 8th. And I actually have to go in at midnight, believe it or not. And I guess my hospital just started this because I guess they were having problems with insurance companies complaining about being charged for an extra day of being in the hospital if they had you go in earlier to be induced and you didn't have the baby like before midnight at that night. So they now have it that you go in at midnight, so that way you're in the hospital being charged for less hospital days of stay, which is dumb and ridiculous sounding. I know my doctor even thinks it's dumb, and going in that late too just is like, I feel like gonna like so hard on us mothers. We have to go in at that time, start the whole induction process, plus then be in labor. So like clearly not much sleep is gonna be gotten. Like I find that just so ridiculous, all because of insurance companies. But anyways, yes, so that is the tentative plan at this point. And my doctor told me though that if I start feeling like at all that I could possibly be going into labor on my own, to just not take my blood thinner. So like if I were to, I've been taking my Lovenox blood thinner at night. So like if during the day, if I were to feel like I'm having kind of semi-regular contractions and I could potentially be going into labor, then just not take it that night to try to be off of my blood thinner for as long as possible to reduce as much of my bleeding risk as much as possible. And my doctor said that if I want to get the epidural at all, sorry, my cat is in here. She's rubbing up against the tripod, so if it gets bumped, that's why. But he said if I want to be able to try to get my epidural at all this time around, anesthesiologists require that you are off of blood thinners for at least 24 hours before they will administer an epidural. So he said, to give you your best chance of getting an epidural if you want it, and just to also try to reduce as much of your bleeding risk as possible. When I went in to have Braylee, I was off of my blood thinners for 24 hours, but by the time she was born, it had been even more than 24 hours. It had been probably going on 40, probably not quite 48 hours, but going on to that by the time Braylee was actually born. Things ended up going fine with her. I didn't like bleed excessively or anything with her, so that was good. So hopefully, as long as I am off the blood thinners for at least 24 hours, things will be fine. I'm not too overly concerned. Sorry, my cat apparently is being a bit clingy. But so that is that. Everything is looking good with both me and baby. I'm measuring perfect. He's still growing good. I was measuring right at 36 weeks last week at my appointment, which is where I need to be. And everything health-wise with me is good. Blood pressure and all that is good. I did not have this at all with Brayley, but I have been having this now in the last like 2 weeks. With this one is I've been having Braxton Hicks contractions, and I never had Braxton Hicks with Brayley, not even once. And this one I've been having quite a few Braxton Hicks. They are definitely not consistent. Sometimes I feel like one and then I don't feel any for a long time. Sometimes I'll feel a few in a row and then I won't feel any for a long time. Sometimes I'll just have a bunch like at night and then I feel nothing again until like the next day. They're like all over the place. There's been a couple times where I've like timed them because I thought maybe they were turning into something. But then like, yeah, I have a few that are kind of close together and then I have nothing and they all stop. Like there's no consistency to it whatsoever. At least at this point, and they're never really painful. Usually it's just my stomach gets really hard and tight and then that's it. Like there's no pain or anything to it. Yeah, so that's been new this time, and I'm definitely at the point now in pregnancy where I am just ready to be done being pregnant. Like I'm so uncomfortable, like all the time pretty much. As you can hear, I get kind of winded sometimes. Doing certain tasks is getting really hard. I've had to have Matt put Brayley to bed because I can't like sit in the rocking chair and hold her for when there's not like a ton of space for her. And then also like she gets mad when her brother kicks her, if he does kick her. And she just hasn't been wanting to go to sleep good for me because of the fact that I can't. And she's been wanting to go to sleep in her own, like laying in her bed lately too. So, and because she's in a toddler bed, like I've been sitting on the floor by her and I can't, like it hurts my butt and hips so much to do that. So Matt's been taking over putting her to bed lately and she's been doing pretty good with it, but like I've had to give that up, and like work is getting harder because I work in childcare, so that involves a lot of bending and getting up and down off the floor and all of that. And I've been trying to do a little less of that and trying to let my coworkers take over some stuff, but it's hard because like, you know, we're a team, we all have to be doing, you know, our part and stuff. So there's a lot of tasks that are getting more complicated and just more uncomfortable to do. And it's just, yeah, I'm just at that point where I am very, very ready to be done being pregnant. I'm ready to get my body back. With Brayley, I remember towards the end, like, yeah, feeling like fat, just like, ugh, I'm done. Like, I don't want to see the scale go up anymore. But with this one, like, I'm feeling so extra fat. Like, I don't know, like, I just want my body back. And I've been feeling like, you know, I almost am feeling kind of like how I kind of did when I was more obese, and I'm just like, oh, I want my body back. I want to feel good again. I want to be able to be more active again and all that. So like, I'm just to that point where it's like, I'm just done. I'm sick of it. I'm ready. So I'm really okay with whenever this baby is ready to come, I am ready for him. My doctor actually did say to me last week at my appointment, he was like, we have your induction day scheduled and planned now, but he's like, that is very tentative because he's like, based on the way your cervix looks, I would not be surprised if you do go into labor on your own within the next week or two. So we'll have to see what happens if little boy does put me into labor on his own or not, or if I end up making it to induction day. We will just have to see. It'll be interesting to see. As far as, I really haven't talked about Brayley much in all of this. As far as Brayley goes, she kind of grasps that there is a baby in my tummy. Like, she will come up to my belly and she likes to listen to my belly with her toy stethoscope and listen to the baby. And she'll always listen to him for a minute with her toy stethoscope and then give him kisses, which is cute. And she'll sometimes go, oh baby, and like pat my tummy. Like, she kind of grasps that there's a baby in there, but she definitely does not really understand that that baby is going to come out and going to be staying with us. Like, that part she doesn't really grasp at all. I mean, she's 2, so for her to fully grasp and understand that, like, it's just not gonna happen until he's here. Like, you know, And she loves babies, so I do think she'll love him, and I think she will do well with him, but I do think it'll still be a major adjustment when she has the realization of he's staying with us and he's not going anywhere. So it'll definitely be interesting to see kind of how things do end up playing out. I think she will be okay. It's just going to be an adjustment. It'll be an adjustment for Matt and I too, where to go from having one kid to two kids. So, it'll be an adjustment for everyone. But we'll see. And I definitely can tell she's sensing the change coming too, because she's been much more clingy to me lately, and just lots of little things, like sometimes her sleep isn't always great and stuff too. So I think she can just sense the change in the air, and especially with moving, doing stuff in this room, making the nursery ready and moving things downstairs, and she knows that there's something coming. She knows that change is happening. So it'll just definitely be interesting to see once he's here how things kind of play out. But we're very excited, very ready. The nursery here is done. I can maybe do a quick scan around the room just to kind of show you guys. It's a tractor theme, as you can kind of probably tell by the little wall stickers that I do have up. Because as my husband is big into tractors, my husband Matt, he's very big into tractors, and so it just obviously makes sense to kind of have a bit of a tractor theme for his nursery. And I love the green color we went with. I think it looks so good, so cute with the tractors and all of that. And the room here is all set. I've been fully nesting. We're pretty much ready and prepared for him. Clothes are all put away. And then we have his bed is ready. I actually have a little suitcase pretty much prepared for Braylee. It just has to have last minute things thrown into it for if I go into labor or if I make it to induction day. Obviously the day, during that day before I go in that night, I'll finish packing it and have it all set for her. Otherwise, it's pretty much to a point where I just gotta put the last minute things in there and then it's set to go. Same thing with my hospital bag. I pretty much have things as packed as I can without having the last minute things thrown in there. So definitely very ready, very prepared. And all that. So we are in the final home stretch. So my actual induction day is 2 weeks from this coming Wednesday. So if he doesn't come before then on his own, we're only 2 weeks away. So I am in major countdown. I'm so ready to, like I said, just have my body back, have him out, be able to love him and snuggle him. And I'm also very much ready to be on maternity leave and have the break from work and stuff, and to have the time with my family and to adjust and all of that. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'll first show you guys my 36, basically 37 week baby bump, and then I'll do just kind of a quick scan around the nursery just to kind of show you guys what it looks like. So first, here is my baby bump. So I'll just go ahead and back you guys up a little bit here. So this is, I actually have a dress on today because it's Sunday. So today is actually Sunday, January 22. So this is with my dress on, facing forward, facing to this side, and then facing to this side. And then I'll just go ahead and lift my dress up so you can see with the dress up. So facing forward, my belly button is definitely trying to pop out big time, which it never really did with Braylee. It did stretch like this with Braylee, but never tried to pop. Because I'm definitely bigger this time around because he's actually running normal sized and bigger sized. So, and then here's to this side. And here's to this side. So yes, and he sits low. I can definitely feel him down here. He's sitting pretty low. And I definitely think he's actually dropped recently because I feel him way down here a lot more than I do up here. And up here is much more squishy and down here is much more hard. So I definitely think he's dropped down a little bit recently too. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, so definitely, I'm definitely big. Like I said, I'm definitely bigger this time around than I was with Brayley because he's running normal size and Brayley was teeny tiny. So, yeah, that is my bump. And so now I'll just go ahead and take my camera and I'm just gonna show you guys kind of around the nursery a little bit here. So, this is the door like entering into his room, and then this is over by his crib. So, as you can see, he has the same crib that Brayley used, but I have a couple of tractor blankets hanging there. Obviously, they're not going to stay hanging there. I just have them there for looks right now. I love this that I found, the to go to sleep. I count tractors, not sheep. I'll show you inside the crib. There's this really cute, actually, tractor quilt that my sister gave, and then I just have a little sleep sack sitting in here right now. There's a couple little loveys. So then the changing table is the same one I used for Brayley. I just moved it in here. Same thing with the diaper pail. His clothes are all in there. I have diapers and stuff already set in that little diaper holder over there. His car seat is down here all set to go. The baby bathtub I have to eventually bring downstairs. I just have it still in here for right now. And then I have this nice rocker here for nursing him and stuff at night. And then in the closet, like, there's just a bunch of storage stuff in the closet. Like, there's not really anything crazy. So I'm not really going to bother open that. But yeah, and then you can see all the little tractors around to go with the nursery. I kept things pretty simple and subtle just because, you know, he is a boy. Don't need to be too fancy. So that is everything, you guys. I'm going to end this video here. If I get time, maybe I'll do another update at some time before he's born. Otherwise, maybe the next time you see me, we could have another baby. So we'll have to see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.